look atrocious. It is about 15 to 5 in my realm of the world. I look horrible, but I just wanted to come on today. I've had another one of those days where, I don't know, life gives you a wake up call. And y'all know, if you followed me for much of the last 4 or 5 months, I've had a lot of loss in my world, especially since Christmas. It's been a lot of loss. And I have to bring this up because as I sit here with this neuromuscular disorder and I am very limited in what I can do physically, I'm frustrated because I'm so rural and I've had to leave my career and I'm at home all the time. I feel useless. And I have to remind myself that I am not useless, that I am still very much useful, especially in the lives that I touch. But I've also had to, because of my health, make peace with a lot of the things that kind of float out in the world that you don't normally make peace with at a younger age. So you have to face your own mortality, and you have to face how you feel about these things, and possibly having a shorter life expectancy than once thought, and having a more difficult life than you once envisioned. So a lot of things in my life have changed since I was diagnosed. And yet I've lost a lot of healthy people and healthy friends long before I think I should have lost them. But I'm still here. And so I constantly, especially when I'm struggling with my health, especially on days like today when these fronts are moving through and I'm struggling with my own health and how I feel and my focus, I have to remind myself to focus. And I have to remind myself that nobody knows how many days you have. Nobody knows when your time is up. The only thing that you have is the moment that you live in. If you remember the past or plan for the future, you're living in this fictional space that is not actively occurring. You need to be here, now. Live now. Because if you're focused on the past or the future, you're not focused on life currently. I learned how to focus on life currently every minute by minute. And I think for me, even though having the neuromuscular diagnosis and the illness has been a huge negative, getting the focus has been a huge positive. It makes me spend more time thinking about real things, about things that do matter, about family, about relationships, and about the ties that bind here physically with people you love, and not so much focused on material things or physical things that don't matter. That's why I look like crap and don't have my hair or makeup done. But hey, so last night or yesterday evening, we lost another friend in our friend group, and it was tragic, and it was completely unexpected. He was young, healthy, a career professional, a very well-respected person, and just had a tragic accident that no one could potentially foresee. I mean, I never would have, it's just one of those happenstance things that occurs, and we don't understand it, and it's going to be hard to process for friends and family. It's going to be hard to make peace with. Y'all watched me struggle since December to make peace with the loss of my very dear friend of 30 plus years. This is going to be one for the area to have to come to grips with too, because it was completely unexpected and just completely a happenstance. Just no one could have foreseen this whatsoever. And it was just he was working on a building project, and somehow the building, part of the building fell and collapsed on him. And you wake up at moments like this when you have to deal with these things, and you think, I need better focus. I used to say, why am I still here, broke down, neuromuscular disorder, trying to function every day, when I'm watching all these bright, shining, healthy people leave? I don't ask myself that anymore. Because every day that you're here, you just have to focus and make matter. You don't know when you're going to leave. You don't get an ETA. to heaven or wherever you think you're going, you don't get that notice, because if you get that notice, you will focus on the wrong things. You have to focus on every day. And that is one thing that I think I've done better since I've been diagnosed, is I feel every day. I go through my emotions every day. If I'm having a crap day, I deal with it. I talk about it. Y'all see me come on here and handle crap and talk through things and be frustrated and work through things. But it's better to get through it than it is to hang on to it and wait for it to passively subside, because that doesn't work. Aggressively attack these things that frustrate you and scare you, and they will become less obstacles in the future. But I just wanted to come on here and say, focus on today, on this moment, on right now. Because if you are focused on the past, or you are focused on planning for the future, and you're not respecting and enjoying your life at this moment, you are living in a fictional world that doesn't exist. Focus on the real world, the moment that exists. Everybody pray for this family. Send up some good vibes and thoughts for this family. I'm not going to mention any names, but I know they'll get where they're going if you send them. And this is just another one of those, life rings your bell and you have to process and make sense. And there's really no way to come to peace with such a tragedy, but you can learn from anything. And so this is what I've taken from the great losses that I've had over the winter, is to focus. And it's given me the refocus that I needed. I think I was getting out of sorts there for a little while. And I've had to focus and really deal with a lot of stuff the last few months that normally someone would set aside. And I just wanted to come in here and remind you all to do the same. Don't live in a fictional world that doesn't exist. The past and the future are not in existence. Live right now. Oh, Jamie, you're fine. You don't have to always jump on when I'm on. I just had a thought and wanted to drop it on here. But I'm fixing to go eat a bite of dinner. I just wanted to drop a thought. And, sometimes life just makes you think. And that was my thought when this occurred. And I had a really good weekend. I had to muscle through some discomfort this weekend to enjoy my weekend, but I had a really good weekend. And the weather here is horrible, so this weekend's probably going to be just as bad as last weekend for me. But I still focus on enjoying what I can, because you have to enjoy what you're given. I can't rate my life against everyone else's. I can only make it the best version I can make it. And I have really struggled with the loss over the winter. A lot of loss, a lot of grieving, a lot of confusion, a lot of sitting down and having huge internal dialogues and thought processes and talking with good friends. But there's been a lot of just really random things that have happened this winter that have really pointed out to me some things that perhaps maybe I handle a little bit better than most because of my disorder and because of my health and what I deal with. And this was such a devastating blow to our community because we don't anticipate these things. And I don't know if there can be any way to anticipate these things. But I certainly understand that for me personally, I live in the moment. Even if I'm having a craptastic day, I tell myself I'm having a craptastic day, but what else can I do? Even if I have to be bedbound, I'm trying to put a wrinkle in my brain, watch a documentary, do something that is active, educational, learning, processing information, understanding the world around me, trying to, create some kind of educational process even though I'm stuck at home. I try to do something that help me comprehend people beyond my borders and my boundaries, mentally, physically, geographically. Um, and I enjoy learning, so that's one thing that I do. But everybody doesn't have these coping mechanisms, and I think that's what it comes down to, is coping mechanisms. And perhaps that's why I have bear the losses better this winter than some of my friends, is my coping mechanisms. And I will talk things through and be completely vulnerable and display my not so best self so that you all can see me, go through things, navigate through things. But I think it's important to be honest. But one thing I do is I try to deal with the minute I'm in and not what's going on. Because with my body, I really can't make plans anymore. And if I think back to what I was capable of, I will just become frustrated. So I focus on how I'm feeling right now and what I'm doing and what I can do to make it better. Haven't felt the best today, but I got up and put a couple of listings on Etsy. I put the Coyote keychains on Etsy. And I'm fixing to try to take a couple more photos if I can get my back to jive. It's this stupid iPad. I'm going to get a microphone. But I just wanted everybody just to pop on here and say, hey, you know something? One thing I have learned being super sick like I am is don't live in the past. Don't get stuck planning for the future. Because those places don't exist. They're just in your mind. They're fictional. The only thing that truly exists is the moment that you're sitting here right now. Make it good. Focus on it. It's all you got. And I do that every day. And y'all, when I'm called out of here, I'm okay with it. I've been on the line a few times, and I'm okay with it. And I certainly don't want, like, my family to feel begrudged or like something was stolen. And so I just kind of share how I think about things. And that's why I say don't live in the past, don't live in the future. Those places don't exist. Only thing that exists is right now. Focus on right now. And even if you're having a crappy day, you were given a day, try to make it a less crappy day, and put it in the piggy bank and say, hey, I got one more. Thankful for it. So that's where I am today. It's been another day of kind of like reflection. If I can make it to this weekend and get to the warm weather on the other side, I think spring will stick it better. And I'll be feeling better. But I did get a couple listings done. I may get one or two more done this evening as I pitter-patter around. But I am trying to process and do a few things for Dave just to kind of be helpful. And I am trying to, as I'm able and feel good, to finish up a couple of projects that I've got going on. But I just want to check in and say, hey. And, sadness is a consistency in life. All the emotions are. They're going to come and go. And you're not the emotion you're feeling. You're just visiting. So don't get stuck on the emotion you're feeling. Remind yourself you're just visiting. And move on and try to create a better emotion, a better place. And don't get stuck in these fictional past and future. Live now. I know we've got snow coming in this weekend here, and I was like, no, it's just supposed to clip through, but still, that's hard on my body. And I've felt it now for a few days. It's going to be very cold here, and I'm just ready for spring. I'm ready to feel better. I sat out Sunday to Video Lane and got just a little bit of sun, just a little bit of a sunburn, and I think that helped me more than anything in the last 6 months, to be quite honest. And so I just want that warm sunshine to help with the inflammation in my system and to help me get my vitamin D back up and to feel better. And I just need flowers to bloom, the grass to be green. I just need those warm months to kind of recharge. Oh, and Net's ahead of us all. She's spring cleaning. See, we're dealing with a winter clipper that's going to come through this weekend. So, but I know I've not been as present since my back injury and since I've been kind of having to deal with a little bit more health issues, but I am improving. And you all know as the weather stabilizes in the warmer months, I do better. So I will be on more. But when this happened, I just thought, I just need to share how I handle things. I don't think I always handle things the healthiest. Like, I really sometimes have to chew through them and talk through them and be frustrated and get angry and visit all the emotions before I bounce through it. And that's not always the best way. But I certainly don't leave it and don't handle it. But the one thing I do focus on is that I can't focus on what I used to be able to do because I can't do it anymore. It doesn't exist. I can't plan for better days because I don't know if I'm going to get them. They don't exist. Those are fictional areas. The only thing I can do is focus on now and try to create the best current day possible. And so that's what I try to do. Even on the crappy days, I try to have the best current day possible. Even when my dishes aren't done, when my laundry's not folded, still find something to be thankful for and have a good day. It's all about what you focus on and how you focus. And I get in those dark and gloomy spaces and I have to recalibrate and check myself every once in a while too. But I will say that the loss that I have experienced this winter has certainly refreshed my respect for even my bad days. I watch other people have great days, and I'm happy they have great days. I want everyone to have great days. But the loss that I've experienced this winter has made me respect even my crappy days. So I just wanted to hop on here and say that. And if y'all will just send good vibes toward this area in Tennessee, toward this family, and it's hit the whole community. So if you can just send good vibes. We've had a lot of loss, but you know, we're hardy people and we'll get through. But live in the moment, focus on what's real, and don't get bogged down in the wrong emotions. And if you need help with anything, or you need a friendly chat, or you just need somebody to brain vomit to, give me an email at watersworkload@gmail.com and I'll chew the fat with you. And be the place where, you know, whatever you need to say goes to die, because it will never leave. It will never leave my brain. But sometimes we just need to verbally get it out. And I think that's what this was for me. So y'all have a good day. I'm going to go eat me some dinner. And take care of yourselves. Get through, thank you, Jamie, get through this cold snap. Annette, I'm going to start spring cleaning as soon as my back is just a little bit better. So I'm right behind you. Hi, Gypsy, you're fine. You can go back and rewatch. It's okay. Don't worry about it. But I just wanted to check in, give you my food for thought for the day, what I'm dealing with, and then also let you know I have gotten a couple of the Cody-tailed keychains listed, and I'm going to get a couple other things on there as well, hopefully by tonight, and then hopefully Thursday or Friday put a couple more things on. So I will be touching base. And when Lane finishes that carving, he will be sending us a picture when it's stained and done completely. He's working on the detail work now. So things are rolling, but the weather here has definitely put a damper on our week. It's definitely slowed me down, but I'm doing good. I just wanted to check in. So I'll see you all probably tomorrow, and let's all shoot to make tomorrow a better day. So I'm going to wake up tomorrow and just know it's going to be better than today. I get overwhelmed in it a lot, and I have to sit down and realize that I'm overwhelming myself. And life is, you know, it's big, but it's a blessing. And I will sit down and overwhelm myself, and I have to remember that. Yeah, Mike, send me some weather from Florida. I could use it. You enjoy yourself. It is cold here again and gonna snow one night this weekend. It won't amount to anything, but it's just enough to aggravate my muscles. So I've been a little bit more lethargic, and I have a little bit more still, and I've certainly not been sitting at the craft table as much, but I'm still doing better than I was a couple months ago with that back injury, so I'll take it. But I am improving, and I think you all can tell from my face I'm improving, even though I look like death today. I'm getting some color back, and I'm not as swollen, and y'all can see. As long as you can see these dimples in my nose, I'm good. That means I'm not swollen. But it's just an ugly week, and it's been a devastating week in our area. But you know something? To get the gift of life, you got to pay the toll at the end. And to be quite honest, I'm okay with that. Because I look at it as it's the second most natural thing that happens in your life, second to being born. It's all the stuff that we cram in the middle that's really unnatural if you think about it. So I kind of have made peace with that. Of course, my health has forced me to make peace with that. But it certainly always makes me think when a younger family loses someone so unexpectedly. It's certainly a sad thing. Hi, Denise. And I just wanted to pop on, kind of brain vomit, let you all know kind of what's going on and how we're focusing here and trying to help our friends and our neighbors get through this. And it was someone that David was, had to work with closely with his fur trapping. So, it's touching a lot of families right now because this was a very well respected professional in the area. So it's been a very harrowing experience for a lot of people to get up this morning and realize that we lost a very key person in our community. And these losses hurt small communities. We need every good person we can get right now. The world is spiraling into a horrible societal mosh pit of ick. If you just, that's just how I feel about it. And so when I see these great, upstanding people leave us early, it makes me sad. Oh, Annette, I could use that. It was beautiful here the last 2 days, and today it's rainy, nasty, kind of stormy and grumbly, and it's getting cold. Yep, follow David Hillbilly Furs. You can follow him at D&L Trapping for David and Lane. And I have loaded a couple things to the Etsy store, a couple of Coyote Tail keychains. I'm going to try to get a couple other things posted later. I'm slower than I thought it would be this week due to the weather, but I'm still moving. So I appreciate everybody. Even when you just send me an email or you check in, I really appreciate it. Million Mile, I've been trying to watch that as well. And I've been also trying to keep up with, and I've been really paying attention to Vivo Fry's channel lately because he's been really on top of a lot of the things I've been concerned about. So I've been keeping up with him as well. But Elon Musk shocked the world, didn't he? I swear if I could just hug that man, I would. And I don't think he's somebody that I would potentially have anything in common with, except that he likes to poke the bear. And I enjoy that. I enjoy that we've rolled so far downhill one way that when one person exercises their rights in this country, the ever-loving mind of half of the nation flips out. I love the upset. Do you want to know why? Because the upset means there's going to be change and growth. Now, is it going to be an overall healing and getting us back to the place where most of us were more comfortable in a more family and community style nation that we remember from yesteryear? Probably not. We're not ever probably going to go backwards that far. But if we can just hang on to our rights and kind of wag our finger at our government every once in a while with what's going on, and get them to respond appropriately. No one's been responding for a few years because no one has had the power to really create a reason to respond. It's like the people have lost their power. We're just not respected anymore. They just take our money, fleece us, and go, we'll see you next year to shear you again. I'm so happy that someone with the power and the money and the sarcasm and wit went, I call you bluff. Let's see how this works. So I'm super excited about this. I hadn't seen anything come across my YouTube about the true crime community in days because I've been so focused on other things. And I caught 2 minutes of Lip Lock's rant this morning earlier. I don't know what's going on, but I didn't step in it, so I ain't gonna try to wash it off. So, that's just kind of how I feel. I have no need to be at the garden hose, so nobody's gonna see me there. I don't know what's going on, but I just know that there's so much hostility in this world. You don't get this type of hostility when you meet people face to face. Because you can read people, you can feel their energy, and you see their body. You don't get this hostility. But online, where you think you have a buffer and protection, people will be absolutely just nasty and naughty. And there's no need for it. And I think a lot of people, I think it's just, we thought that the internet was going to bring the world together and bring people together. And I think all it did was kind of help us all disassociate and think that we were the world. And so everything to us is at our fingertips. We feel important. We feel like everything revolves around us, and we forget that real interaction with real people. And it downplays our empathy and our sympathy. It downplays all the emotions you need. It creates antisocial behavior, which creates personality disorders. And it's just it's been a very unhealthy thing. But it's been an unhealthy thing because we've used it in an unhealthy manner. So I'm hoping that maybe what he's fixing to do is to maybe tweak a little bit of the major platforms back to where they're a little bit more balanced, a little bit healthier, a little bit more, free speech and less political power and muscle. Because nobody has to think the way I think, but they should have the same right to say it. And it certainly doesn't bother me to hear other people's opinions or ideas. I may be frustrated by them because I may not agree, but I'm not going to attack them and I'm not going to belittle them for having them. I'm just going to be like, okay, you're not someone that I'm going to have much in common with, so I'm not going to focus my energy on you. Sadly, in this world today, we focus our energy on the people we shouldn't. And we get into these altercations, and that's a lot of what this internet thing has become. So that's why I try to stay positive and show you life, me working through the nitty gritty sometimes. It's not always perfect. I look like this most days. I don't wear makeup a lot. I deal with crap I don't want to have to deal with. I deal with health issues. I've dealt with a lot this winter that I wouldn't wish on anyone. But there's still so much to focus on that's good. And I don't know, I just think the balance has to go back to where we are shifting back to real interactions, real physical encounters, real physical relationships, real emotions, real interactions, and we get society into a tangible place again instead of this disassociative crap. Yeah, Gypsy's getting way too drama ridden. I can come on here and say my piece and say I don't, I just can't respect what I've witnessed. I'm not going to participate in it, but sometimes the personal attacks and stuff go a little too far. And, there's something about, I don't mind boundaries. Boundaries are healthy. But when you draw the boundary line and then point to it for 15 minutes and then dare them 5 times to cross it, that's antagonistic. And that's not good. And so I try to never do anything in the heat of the moment. I try to chew on it for a while and come back when I'm a little bit more settled. And I think the only time I've ever responded when I was really emotional was right around Christmas when all that crap was, people were being attacked. And I tried to be super respectful then. I don't want to be disrespectful to anyone. And I certainly haven't been disrespectful. I've not gone on to anyone's channel or been in anyone's lives or been disrespectful to anyone or caused anyone's channel any harm. That's just not who I am. I just retracted my energy. And that was still enough to make people hostile toward me. That's how unbalanced people are. It's my energy. It should be placed where I want to put it. And we have to respect that. So if I see, bad energy, negative energy, I just don't funnel toward it. I just go away from it. So when things get too dramatic, I just kind of go, oh, okay. I'll catch y'all when you get back to the focus of, what's going on. There are things that I get frustrated with and I hang on to and I want to make a point about. But normally after I sleep on it, I'm done and I'm rolling on to the next thing. Speak your piece, but, don't speak it for 10 months. So, but yeah, some of this is getting insane. I've noticed it as well. I just try to be quiet and focus on the positive. And if I can't see a positive to focus on, I try to create it. Now that doesn't mean I'm not going to have craptastic days where you don't see me at my finest. They will occur. They will occur a lot. And I will tell you I'm not at my best. And I will want to show you those days as much as I want to show you the good days. Because I don't think enough people see people processing emotion and life in reality anymore. I think they see people Instagramming life and faking life And I don't think they see people actually working through the frustration and the issues. So I try to be very open and honest and just real as to who I am. And I don't have the best life. I am not rich. I'm very poor. I don't have a lot. But what I do have is every day I'm on this earth and my last name. And I'm going to try to make those things good. So, hi, Phoenix. How are you? I just wanted to hop on and chew the fat a little bit. I think y'all can see I've like lost a little bit of weight. Look at this. I've got like a, I'm not as swollen through here where I was with the mastoiditis that stretched everything. So I'm doing better. I can see my body's trying, and I think this spring and summer I'm really, really going to push and try to build up my core muscles again, because they really got super out of control last year with as sick as I was and as bedbound as I was. And since the insurance have changed, things are going really good. Referrals have been made. So far, things look good. It looks like I am going to have better care with a much reduced price tag. Even though I have the monthly premium, it's going to be better care and probably save us a lot of money in the long run. I'm no longer being bled dry by Blue Cross. So everything is starting to shape up in my world. So like I said, if we can get through this month, kind of normalcy will re-enter into our realm. And I feel a lot better about things. You know, still got some hellacious medical bills to pay, but I'll get them paid. I'll chew on them as I can. And even with those things, that kind of I have to be mindful about, I need to set those down every once in a while and just be in the moment and enjoy my life. So that's why I try to share upbeat things, or thought-provoking things, or sometimes like to focus on absolutely stupid things because we all need to laugh. But I hope you enjoyed the video of Lane doing his chainsaw art. That was, for me, it was a proud mama moment to share, because I think my son is super talented, and he's doing a lot of work. And Denise, he's processing a lot of stuff, so he's found the log for the statue. So, and he's planning it out, but he's got a very serious mindset about it, especially when I forwarded the information you sent yesterday, or that I got yesterday, because my phone had me locked out of my email. But he's like, this is super serious to me. So he's focused on making that the best possible. And he's actually really honored to have even been thought about to have, done something of that significance for someone. So he's just super honored. And he is really working his butt off lately. And, baby on the way, he's going to be a dad. And he's just really, I'm really proud of my kids. My daughter's fixing to graduate from college. And my son is, established in a small business and kind of making a name for himself as a really creative artist. So I'm really proud of my kids. Are they going to be rich, world-renowned people that? No. They're going to be the good people that are the backbone of this nation. And I don't think there's anything more important to be. So I think the last year we've seen that Hollywood is just a facade. Money and power is just a facade. The real power is in the people, and the good people that keep this nation running. And I'm really proud to have created two little humans that are going to be the little belligerent citizens that go, oh, no, I don't think so. So I'm proud to have created those two little spirited beings that are hopefully going to keep this nation tilted in the correct way. And I hope that Elon Musk's decision, I hope that it does the same thing. I hope it just creates, you can see the backlash from the left already. They're already upset that there's been a power shift. Well, I'm sorry. I thought for the last 3 years this had nothing to do with power. I thought it was just right or wrong. But now we all know it is power. So they've admitted it. In their disgust, they stated their own demise. It's all about power. So, yeah, I never wanted to be wealthy, or, it sounds exhausting. I've got friends that were, I've got friends in the world that have been super famous, traveled the world, and some that are still traveling doing things. And I look at them and I'm like, I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you do this. because I could not, even in my youngest, brightest days, could I tolerate globetrotting and handling all of that and the extra burden. I'm not. I need to go sit in the field, just plop in the grass, stare at the pond, and watch the cows chew their cud and just be. I'm not someone that likes to be in a concrete jungle or likes to be surrounded by people at all times. I love people, but I also like to be alone. And I don't think I could handle being like a very well-known person. That's why I respect Ryan so much, as he's hung on to so much of his country, even though he is climbing that ladder. And I know sometimes he struggles and has some imbalances, and that's to be expected. He's human. But I really respect him because I think he has pretty much stayed true to himself, even though he's had a lot of success. So, the world is just a crazy thing. We're only here for a blink of an eye. And I just think sometimes we focus on the past and the future, which do not exist. They're no longer happening. There's nothing you can do there. It's fiction. It's made up in your head. Stay in the moment and focus on the moment and try to find something to be happy about. And even if you're having a bad day, make it a less of a bad day. Do something positive. So, our little town was rocked this morning with unexpected news of the loss of that young person. But, we come together at times like this. So it eventually will make us stronger. That's a positive. It's just super frustrating to watch a family go through something so tragic. But it's also a really great reminder that you only have today, because everything else is pure fiction. And I remind myself of that a lot. I will get focused on, maybe next week I'll feel better. In 2 weeks, if I feel better, I can go do this. But I can't do that. I can't do that, because then I'm living in a world that doesn't exist, and I'm constantly allowing myself to not focus on making myself happy at the moment. So I'm not going to name any names, but it was our local game warden, and he was just an upstanding guy, and it was just a very tragic construction accident on his time off. And I don't think it could have been prevented, because it's not anything that you can even think would ever occur. So it's just a sad moment, and I just feel really upset that this family is going to go through the next, couple weeks of complete grief, of just being completely devastated before they really start to crawl out of it. And it's just sad. And when you lose these key members of your community, it kind of rocks the whole community. He was really well respected. So, but his wife and children are very much in my prayers. And our community shines at times like this, which is great, but it's still a sad time. So, okay, it is 5:30. Yeah, none of us know the day or the hour, but I'm here right now, so my little butt. Well, my fat butt's gonna be happy. It's not my little butt. Oh goodness! But I just wanted to hop on here. That's just kind of where I was, and I thought, well, I'm just gonna talk about this and check in, let y'all know I'm kicking. I'm slow this week from the weather, but I'm kicking, and I'm still doing better. So, just checking in with you. So everybody have a blessed evening, and have a good night's rest. Wake up tomorrow and make tomorrow the best day ever. And make sure you stay focused on what matters. Dave is at work. Dave's always at work through the week. I'm not married through the week, because my husband's never home. That's what I tell him. And he's always at work through the week, and we've been blessed. He's had a couple of weekends off, and we hope that that's going to become a more routine thing. He is the only person that runs one specific, very important machine at his factory. And so if the factory is open, he normally has to be there. But I think they're trying to train someone else in, because he had just been overworked. I mean, just y'all seen him that one weekend. He was just asleep. He was on here trying to do a live with me, and he was just asleep and rambling. Yeah, make plans but adapt. That's it. you know, throw out the long line, but don't forget to, you know, focus on your dinghy. So, constructs of the state. Thank you for joining us. We've had a couple of newbies lately. I'm good to see them. We're just a really good tight knit group of. We're just a family at this point, and we just keep up with each other. So everybody's welcome. But that's all I had to share. David will probably jump on again this weekend if he's off. And Snugglepuss, I probably will try tomorrow night to go live and update on the Dreamcatcher I'm working on, and see if I've gotten anything else posted to Etsy. I've done a little bit of posting today. So probably tomorrow at about 7:30 or so, about my normal time in the evening, I'll probably pop on. As long as the storms don't start up. So it's just kind of because the electricity goes out every time the wind blows here. But if anything changes, I will do a community post to let you know. I'll try to check in around noon on a community post to kind of tell you how I'm feeling, what's going on. But I hope to feel like sitting here and crafting tomorrow. I'm hoping my muscles are a little bit better. I can sit here and craft and visit for a longer amount of time. So we'll shoot for that tomorrow night. But right now I'm going to go eat my dinner, and I'm going to rest for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to try to do a few more photos for David's Etsy shop if my body will allow. So hopefully I'll be back and seeing you tomorrow night. Just watch the community post. I will try to put something in around lunch tomorrow. Yeah, bad weather. It's the last few days have been rough. It's getting colder here, so I don't think we're going to see a lot of severe stuff. But tomorrow may give another secondary chance, so we have to kind of watch. And then this weekend, it's going to snow. It won't stick, but it's going to snow. So, crazy world we live in. Just try to enjoy it, I guess. I'm just like, I'll get through the bad days, but I know spring and summer will be here, and I'm going to extra enjoy the beautiful weather this year. If it's warm and pretty and I'm not outside enjoying it, y'all had better be chiding me. Y'all better be riding me and my behind hard, telling me to get my butt outside and enjoy spring and summer, because last year I was so sick I didn't get very many days out. So y'all better be keeping me straight this summer, making sure that I'm out and about. So, but I'm doing better. Y'all can tell I'm doing better. So, yeah, kick your butt. You know, I need a good swift kick about twice a day. It might actually help my back. So, but I will try to look less like death tomorrow, and we'll do a craft live tomorrow. But should something occur where I'm not able, I will do a community post to warn you all. Otherwise, expect to see me around 7:30. Oh, love from Cali. I've got some friends in California. I have friends all over the world. I'm like the most worldly Appalachian. So, I enjoy all the different perspectives. So, everybody, share this to your friends. Get a lot of people in here. The more voices, the better. I just ask for everybody to be respectful. You can say nasty things as long as you can say them in a nice way, because we need to have a dialogue. Just be nice. No postcards. You know, David has not let me he's not let me shoot that crossbow. He will not allow me to have a rematch. And right now I don't even know if I can hold the stupid thing up. My back has been so messed up. But I told him that we would have to try again as soon as the weather warmed up and I felt better, and he was just like, okay. Because obviously he's afraid I'm going to make another bullseye. I've always been a really good shot, though. That's something I grew up very young. You grow up in the woods, in the country, hunting on a farm. You grow up learning these things. And so I'm very comfortable with weapons. And then, of course, I was law enforcement for a decade, so I'm very comfortable with weapons. But I certainly I honestly didn't think I was going to pull off a bullseye. I really thought my back was going to cause, my body was going to cause me just enough to show that I had diminished capacity. But I nailed that one. And I make him remember that as much as possible as well. So he did the walk of shame. I did so much better than him. He has had more time with it because, of course, he's out and about and healthier. But I told him we would have a rematch. And then Haley, as soon as she's home and it's actually nice weather, she's like, I'm gonna shoot it. I'm gonna whip Dad's butt too. So if you all have seen the other video of my daughter, she's also just like me, a crack shot. Both of my kids are crack shots. So we're gonna let her wrestle it when she visits after she graduates college. And I'm hoping I feel like joining in that day and we can just have a little match and see who can one shot who does best, and then they can play all they want to. I just want one more shot. But if that happens, I will video it. You all will be seeing that because that's about my only claim to fame right now. So I used to be able to shoot over my shoulder with a compact mirror and do a bunch of trick shots. You used to be able to like strike matches with a BB gun. I can't do any of that anymore. But I got that bullseye with that crossbow. It was a heavy Excalibur one too, so I'm good. Country girl status still there. So we'll get back to that as soon as the weather perks up though. So for me now it's dinner time. Oscar's staring at me going hello. So I'm gonna go take care of Mr. Oodie and eat my dinner and relax, and I will see you tomorrow evening about 7:30 unless you see a community post saying otherwise. So I love yous. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, y'all.